So let's check now d3. And finally, we came to this moment when I wanted to tell you, even after the best setup for white in these positions, which is so-called sharp variations, black is doing fine. We just play knight e7. White plays here queen e1. White has different moves, bishop b3, bishop d2, a3. But in this course, I'm gonna cover all the sharpest variations here, because it's almost impossible to cover everything. It will be a lot of variations, and there is really no need to know all of them, because after some quiet moves, we are doing fine. We have a good control over this square and good control over this one. Those are two key squares, and our next moves are gonna be d5 somewhere, and just a fine position for black. So that's the reason I'm gonna cover queen e1. So we castle. White is waiting for black to go king to the king side and then start the attack. f5. White is aiming for the most controlled square of black king side, because we have a lot of protection, and trying to open the pieces. For a long time on my own, I was thinking that d5 is the best here, and I was even playing d5. But later, after some research, I came to the conclusion that g takes f5 is way better for black, and it's really not that much to remember, because white is giving up this e5 square, and in the future our knight from e5 will be a huge supporter for our defense on the king side. So white is here two moves, queen h4 and queen g3. Let's start with queen h4. We take on e4. And here many piece sacrifices are possible, none of them are good for white. So I decided to show you some, and if you will have some doubts, you just can check on your own. Everything is super safe, and the least black gets is a small advantage. So for example, let's take a look at knight g5, yeah, aiming for the king side, h6, and if white takes knight e4, we're just playing knight f5, and after queen h5 we'll play d5. Three of white pieces are hanging. Okay, g4, the last attempt to make something, but we just take on c4, take on f5, and black is gonna be piece up soon, also some pawn ups. And to ensure engine evaluation is more than -4, so that means white has no even a little initiative. White is just a piece down, and that's the reason this is not working out, this knight g5. So white takes on e4, just being a pawn down, but knight g6, we're coming with a tempo. Of course, if white exchanged the queens, it would be a disaster for white, because it would be just an endgame pawn down. So white is trying to keep queen h5. And here we're using our square, bringing our another knight for king's defense, knight e5. White should make some move. Okay, knight g5 is gonna be bad, because after h6, those two pieces are hanging. So white should react White should react somehow after knight e5. Playing bishop b2 will be a little more passive, so I thought knight e5 first, and then bishop d2 is just forced, and bishop d7. Here, what is the key idea, what I would like you to remember, that don't play f6 whenever it's not necessary, because after bishop h6, for example, we play queen e7. Rook f4, yeah, white is trying to bring another rook. We play king h8 after takes. We don't play f6, and only after white will play here, we'll just play f6, because it will turn out that this rook h4 was kind of a loss of tempo. And here, of course, white can try to win back one of those pawns, but we can play rook f7, or we can play rook g8, and even after this, we'll be just doing fine with some rook g6 and queen somewhere, and just bishop c6. Of course, we have a monster on e5, and all those positions are super safe for black. What I'm trying to deliver to you, that here taking g takes f6 and g takes f5, and going for these positions are just super safe. Exchanging one knight and playing somewhere f6, but not playing if it's not necessary. So our king is super safe. White problem is this bishop right now is out of any attack, so it has no chance to support, and this knight on c3 is also out. This is the reason all of those attacks are not working, because in chess, if you are trying to attack, you need to have many pieces. Here, white attacking pieces are only bishop on c1, queen and the rook somewhere, but we have much more defenders. This one, this one, this one, this one. In some positions, there is an idea where black is playing a6, b6, and rook a7, and rook is supporting from this diagonal. So this is all about this queen h4 move, and queen g3 move is a little bit different. Let's go ahead and see what happens after this move.